Hey, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Thanks for
Hey.
joining us. We just got done watching episode 6 of the Stray Kids Survival Show, and this is our 7th episode of the podcast. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. Last time we talked about Australians and German listeners, and now we even have a Canadian. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess we can just slide right into Phil's question corner on this because you asked me. You messaged me this morning and you were like, "Is that Mel, who is our Canadian friend?" And
yes,
it is. I asked her and she said,
"Oh,
yes."
hey Mel.
Yeah.
How's it going?
The 1% of Canada is Mel. So thank you, Mel.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Dan. I wouldn't expect Dan to
It's
listen.
not Dan.
No, it would never be Dan.
Nope. Fuck you, Dan.
And I wouldn't want him to listen either because I don't want a 1-star review. 5 stars only, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. What was the other question? I had another question about the phrase "good day."
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't say it, so
okay.
Yeah.
But people in Australia do say it.
Sure.
Even if she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about that because.
So good day.
G'day, dear listener. You didn't even introduce us as people.
Oh,
so
you're right. I know we're not people.
Why don't
we are
you
robots?
Yes. Let's roll the intro and then I will do the proper introduction. How about that?
Oh, okay, sure.
Wakey, wakey.
All right.
Hey, there's a good intro.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Tom.
I'm Phil. Just like a pause.
Yeah, and
I was like, wait. Oh, you. Yeah, I'm me. I'm here too.
I am
Yes,
a person.
this is me.
I am
Hello.
not a robot.
Hello.
Yeah.
We haven't recorded 6 other episodes of this. I don't know what I'm doing.
We changed the format of how we're doing these episodes like every single episode. So
Boy, we got to keep people on their toes.
Right.
We wouldn't want them to have a consistent experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be crazy.
I wonder if someone is going into this episode thinking, are they going to talk about that one person that they've talked about in every other episode? And the answer is no. We're not going to mention him.
No, in this episode, there's none of that, and there's none of the other show that Jeanette and I have been watching.
Thank God.
So, Tom, I've been watching this show.
Oh my Lord. What is it?
It's called Stray Kids Survival Show.
Oh, of course. I know that you've been watching this because
yeah,
I've been
you've been
watching
there.
it with you.
It's been pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. This episode. I will tell you, just overall, like, had me so sucked in that I barely wrote any notes. I couldn't like look away because I was just like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Who's gonna perform? What are they? Are they gonna do well?
Yeah.
Like, I was just in it. I was just 100% in it. So that's okay. You know, we'll deal with it.
Mhm.
It's fine. And I'm so disappointed by the end. I could not.
Oh my God,
believe
yeah.
That
Okay, so if you're coming into this right after watching the episode with us using the listen along audio, then you'll understand our frustrations right now. But we'll get to that. We'll get to the end.
yeah.
Of that.
Yeah.
But
oh, you know, I did have one other correction from last week.
Okay.
It's a minor thing, but I will correct it because I'm nothing if not a perfectionist.
Okay.
That's not true. But I had said, this is so ridiculous. This has nothing to do with Stray Kids. I had said that I was watching this show called The Dr. Blake Mysteries and that it was a BBC show or a British show that takes place in Australia.
Yeah.
But that was wrong. I watch it on BritBox, but it is actually an Australian show. I actually went and looked it up. And so sure enough, it is an Australian show. It's not a British show.
Okay.
So, it doesn't make me a sausage is all I'm saying.
Okay. So you're no longer a
Yeah.
sausage. You're a.
Well, I'm still a sausage. I just
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
What is the? I don't know. I guess we could just make something up, right? Like the sausage thing is not a true British.
I mean, it is
What do you mean?
now.
Well, yeah, right, because we made it. So, like, what's the Australian?
What's the Australian? Oh man,
That's not
the Curios.
The what?
The Curios?
The Curios?
Yo, I like because Nick Kyrgios is a tennis player from Australia. Never mind. That's a bad idea. Okay. Let's keep brainstorming. Come on, we gotta throw out ideas here.
All right. Yeah. Well, we don't have to do it right now on the spot. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll think of it as we're recording.
The Quokkas. I'm a Quokka.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
The Ocean Gators.
The Ocean Gators.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we talk about the episode? Maybe it's a good idea to talk about.
No. People don't tune into this podcast to learn about K-pop. They come for us.
We have very. You're right. We have a couple of dedicated listeners who are just here to listen to us ramble about random stuff, but also talk about Stray Kids.
Yeah.
So, regardless of whether or not we want to just screw around and not talk about Stray Kids, we just watched the episode, so we might as well talk about it. I suppose,
yeah, you're right.
Like, hold on. Let me see if what did I write down notes of? Okay, so the episode starts out and they want to kick you while you're down again because they're like, hey, here's just a quick montage. You remember how Minho was eliminated? Wasn't that sad? Everybody was sad about that. And then they cut to like, oh, they got their next challenge and they're gonna have a battle with YG Entertainment. And YG Entertainment, we talked about in the K-pop episode. They're one of the other big three, and the CEO or head of the company is from So Taiji and the Boys, and they're known for like rap is like their like big thing,
right?
iKON is like a big rap group or let's say boy group who is known for their rap and casual style, and in fact. In the video that we're going to watch a little bit later, and I'll link that in the episode description as well, but we're going to watch a video because they showed like a 1-second clip when they were like doing a montage. They did a montage of all the other battles that have happened in the history between JYP and YG, and one of them was between GOT7 and iKON.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed like 1 second of a clip of it and then just cut away immediately, and I'm like, whoa, like, it's awesome. Like they should have shown that. So I know they probably they have to fit it in to TV rules and TV time, so they couldn't. But we can watch the whole thing. It's really short. It's also I was just like randomly like I pulled it up to prepare for this, and I just looked in the comments and somebody pointed out that like, and I know this, right, that like Bam Bam, one of the members of GOT7 was friends with Bangchan, which we knew.
Yeah.
But he apparently did well in that performance because he's in this video that we're gonna watch later, and he did well in that performance. And the comments that he got, like praising him, are what led him to debut with GOT7. Otherwise, he was actually set to debut with Bangchan.
Oh,
like they would have debuted. So he would have been in Stray Kids had he not like debuted early while Chan got left behind. So crazy.
Weird way of putting it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he did get left behind. He got left behind a lot. There are a lot of people that he came up with that debuted before him. So,
yeah,
not that he wasn't skilled, but like,
or dedicated enough, which we'll see in this episode.
Jeez, that's for real. Okay, so the first thing they do, they decide that they're going to split up the three into three groups. They have a free battle, which they decide to do rap because, of course, they have 3 Racha. They have a vocal battle and a dance battle. And they decide to meet to discuss that while having Cokes. It wasn't as explicit this time, but they were like, they had Coke cans in front of each of them. And like, we just recorded the last episode not that long ago, and I was thinking during that episode, like, man, I have to get a Coke to like have a Coke just for the joke, and I haven't had time to do it. So I don't have one.
I have a Dr. Pepper and cream soda thing. It's literally called.
Wait, are they mixed together?
No, it's called Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
I don't understand.
It is a Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
But like, okay, you know how there's like cherry Coke?
Yes.
It's cream soda Dr. Pepper.
Gross. That doesn't sound good.
What?
Is it good?
Yeah. It's great.
Oh, okay.
It's delicious.
I mean, I guess
it's so refreshing.
Right? Because like it's so refreshing. Because like, you know, cream soda is basically just like sugar with a little bit of vanilla. So you're really just adding a touch of vanilla and more sweetness to your Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta really cut back on my sodies.
Yeah, you should. I've switched like full time to you know, Topo
Soda
Chico
Stream.
and no, not Soda Stream. Topo Chico, but then also I started drinking. This was a while ago that I just wanted something with a little bit more flavor, and so I was like, you know what? I feel like having a ginger ale, and it like it just reminded me of being in the hospital when both my kids were born, because like they have like a fridge stocked with drinks and stuff for the people who are in the room.
Yeah.
And you can go get coffee, but their coffee was shit. And in fact, like it was so funny because like when Michelle was being born, my second child, for anybody who doesn't know, I went to the coffee machine to get myself coffee because it was the middle of the night and, you know, labor was happening. So I go to the coffee machine and I like punch the buttons and stuff, and then it takes a moment to squirt out my coffee, and then it only fills it up like a centimeter. And I was like, well, that's not gonna be good. Like I don't know what went on in this machine, but it's not going to be good. So,
yeah.
So instead, I opened the fridge and grabbed, they had ginger ale in there because, you know, like ginger drinks and ginger flavored things are supposedly supposed to help with nausea. So, you know, people might have nausea if they're, you know, various reasons on a pregnancy delivery, labor and delivery floor. But so anytime I drink it, it just kind of reminds me of that. So this was months ago. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get some ginger ale. It's gonna be delicious, and it was. But I hadn't had like soda in so long that I was just like, I don't really want to add extra calories in my diet. I like do that to myself enough already. So with just food. So I just decided to go with the zero sugar, and so now I just basically drink those two things: just regular water, Topo Chico, and then zero sugar ginger ale, and it's delicious.
It doesn't sound good, I'll admit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you know, everyone has their own tastes, and some people love La Croix, so you know.
That's just crazy. Nobody loves La Croix. They tell themselves that so they can get through the can. You know what? I'll make one exception. I've had the. Oh no! You know what? Actually, I take it back. What I've been drinking when I drink flavored waters like that is Waterloo, which is like a local brand. So
Waterloo,
yeah,
not Waterloo Ice House where River's the baby.
No. In fact, I think all of the Waterloo ice houses may be closed. Maybe the one downtown isn't, but I don't go there, so yeah. I wouldn't know. But all the ones that are up north closed. And,
yeah.
But that was before the pandemic, so we can't claim that was like a pandemic thing. But
sure.
Yeah.
Before the panorama occurred.
Before the panorama, yeah. So it's not. It's well, you know, like Austin, where I live, was originally called Waterloo, right?
I actually didn't know that. That's interesting. I wonder.
Oh, really?
Like, why is it? Or maybe I did know that as like a tidbit, like, you know, way back.
Yeah, you know, it's like a thing. It's like a thing, like, you know, yeah. So that's why the Waterloo Ice House exists. That's why Waterloo Records exists. That's why Waterloo the drink exists.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. There's another like who was it that was doing that? There's some like microbreweries that like basically like got into doing carbonated water drinks because they're popular in Austin. So they were just like, well, why are we letting Topo Chico have the entire market? And so they just started doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, all been pretty good. And I get exposed to it early because, you know, when I was at work, they would just like, anytime some new product came out, like the second that nitro cold brew was a thing, we got nitro cold brew machines in our cafe.
Yeah.
So, and they were good.
You know what I miss is Nerd energy drink.
Oh, yeah, man. You can't get it, right? Like, it's been a long time since I've seen a Nerd energy drink.
I don't have HEB anymore. But even like the last time that we went, right, it was like a rarity.
Yeah, I mean I remember that there was a time. Oh, there was like a time when they used to stock them at work at my job.
Really?
And then I actually, yeah, they would have them like in the cafes, and I would get them all the time, and some of my coworkers would get them also. And they stopped showing up, and we talked to we're like. One of my friends, one of my coworkers, is married to a manager at the cafe. And so I asked her, like, we were just hanging out one day. I was like, hey, whatever happened to Nerd Energy Drink? And she was like, they couldn't fulfill our orders. Like, they weren't able to keep up with the orders that we had for them. So we just had to drop them. And I was like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just losing business for not being able to do it. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Anyway. We've made it to the first Coke meeting, so they're trying to decide who should be in.
This is an episode about Stray Kids, or a podcast. I mean, this is it. Yeah, Austin, Texas, Waterloo.
Yep, you're welcome.
Nerd energy. Anyway,
so they mention at the meeting that Sungmin, for whatever reason, his voice it's in bad condition, and I'm like, maybe he just has like a sore throat or a cold or something. I don't know what bad condition means. Then they do start splitting up, so they decide that the vocal team will be Jongin and Woojin and Chan.
Yeah.
And then they like get together and they're all like, okay, so like, yeah, I think the hook would be best done by Jongin. I think he'll do really well at it. But he's like super nervous. He like can't do it. He's like, and he's telling them straight up, like right out the gate, when as soon as he hasn't even tried it yet, they're just suggesting it, and he's like, "Nah, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't want to hurt our company's reputation with my bad performance or whatever." And he's just so unconfident because of the negative feedback that he keeps getting.
Yeah.
And they did have him try it, and they were like, "Oh, it was unstable." Yeah. And even Jongin was like, "Yep, it's not good." And so they switched him to just having the verse. So okay.
But did he throw it? You know, did he throw it?
I don't want to believe that he would throw it, but I would believe that the nerves that he's built up over all this time would cause him to not be able to perform it well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And he went into it doubting himself, right. So it's really not that surprising. Next, we met with the dance team, which was Felix, Hyunjin, and then Changbin and Sungmin were in the room with them while they were practicing, and we got to see some like really crazy moves that Felix and Hyunjin were doing. A lot of like body isolation, and some big jumps, kicks, and one backflip that was shown
just a stationary backflip. I mean, that is always impressive.
That's
to me.
hard. Yeah, it is impressive. Yeah. Anyway, so then they go to the Three Racha group, and they are talking about how they want to rearrange all of the music for the song, the Three Racha song that they're going to perform. And after that is when we kind of get the montage of Chan and his whole like deal about like, oh, yep, I'm here, I'm working on rearranging this song, and it's 1:30 a.m. so it's time to go to the dorm, and like you might be lulled into a false sense of security that means he's going to bed, but no, he's going to rearrange another song at home.
Yeah, and that really like made me think back to I think it may have been the first episode of the podcast where we are introduced to the guys, you know, and I was like, what stands out for me, for my bias, right? Is that he's such a hard worker and so set on being a good leader for the team that he's making like very real sacrifices for himself. And another thought that came to mind, like while watching this episode, was: is he spreading himself too thin to, like, good at everything, but master of none, kind of thing?
Right. And jack of all trades, master of none.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, he does well, right? But he did get eliminated from the
rap
group, yeah, which is really surprising considering that he is part of the original rap group, 3RACHA.
Right. Yeah. He wrote and arranged the song.
Yeah.
That moment, like, so they were getting like a midway criticism from JYP so that he could make sure that they were on track and remove anyone who wasn't up to the grade to go and fight at YG. So I think that he was able to, that JYP was able to look at the group and then kind of go like, okay, like, I can see that Chun is in every group. And when he tells him, like, yeah, I arranged this song and I'm performing it and I'm in the vocal group and I'm in the dance group, like, I think JYP knew that he was spreading himself a little thin. I think he's probably okay with him working those kind of hours. I mean, like, when Jisung mentioned exactly, like, his, like, normal schedule is not to leave JYP until 1 a.m. and then to get up at 5 and go to work. So, like, he only has, like, under 5 hours to possibly sleep?
Right.
But, like, if he's getting home at that time, he might want to eat something. He might want to shower. He might want to get some sleep. So there's just no time for anything. It's really there's not a lot of relaxation, and that kind of goes back to some of the previous episodes where we were talking about, like, how like Chan is, we noted that, like, he was, like, seeming to be spread pretty thin, but this is, like, the first time that they really show us just the extent of, like, his work day compared to everyone else. Like,
yeah,
everyone else is working really hard. They're working probably late at night as well, but he's pushing it further than anyone because he has to arrange the songs not just for the rap group but also for the vocal group, and he's also attending the practices for the dance group and then judging and criticizing to making sure the dances are tight. And so, like, he's doing everything, and at least every member of the group recognizes that he's doing everything.
Yeah.
And even if they can't help him, they appreciate it,
right.
I think.
Right.
So that's good. It's crazy. But yeah, he did get cut from the rap team, which I think overall was a good choice.
Yeah, I believe I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, Jongin isn't able to do very well in the vocal performance. He's got Jisung says that he has he's got a complex now because every time he's in front of JYP, he can't perform the way that he did in practice, which I don't know. Is it too soon to call that Minho syndrome? Like, you don't want that.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very valid, though, because...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you go into it with this air of doubt immediately, and you're like, oh, what am I going to get criticized about today?
Yeah.
So, and who was it? Who said, like, hopefully he can work past that, right? That...
Yeah, Jisung was saying that he hopes that he can work past it. And you can definitely see there's some scenes like during the dance or after the dance, they all praise Jongyi and they tell him, oh, actually, I guess it's like after they get their review. So they do the dance, then JYP says, like, yeah, you guys all did great. I think that we could win with this one. So awesome. And then they take a Coke break after JYP books it. And during the Coke break, they're talking about how Jongin has the killing part where he gets to be super cute and show off, like, his maknae-ness, where he's going to be Aegyo and really, like, make the scene for them. And so he's going to stand out. He's going to get a chance to stand out where he doesn't have to be nervous about his vocals. And, I think that they're purposefully praising how well he did. It seemed like a few of the members, Chun included, like went out of their way to really give him a pat on the back and a high five.
Right. For sure.
So that he like knows that he's doing well. Like he's a part of this. Like he can't just step away and not do this. So
yeah.
Yep. This was a longer Coke break, and was it refreshing. Really, really refreshing.
Definitely.
So then they show them arrive at YG Entertainment, and JYP kind of has a moment with them, make sure that they're, feeling good. And he's like, okay, well, like, I've known this dude for a long time, and, we're pretty cordial with each other. We're friendly. But this is a battle. So you have to wipe them out, he says. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, all right. and then JYP in his weird outfit and his strange red shoes, they head in. So that was the end of all of the notes I took, because from that point forward, like the episode's nonstop, and I felt like only like one more minute passed, even though several minutes passed.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we saw was they introduced everybody. JYP recognized one of the guys as somebody who was on K-Pop Star that he had praised 4 years back and had grown up a lot. Also, like all of the members who were there from YG were super young. Like their youngest member was 13.
13. It's insane. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having a stable voice at 13. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right?
This doesn't make any sense. I hardly have a stable voice now.
Yeah.
That's
man, I wish that I could like go back and listen to like my voice back then, because it has certainly changed. I've been on like voice calls with people who knew me back then. Like that I played World of Warcraft like way back, in vanilla. And obviously like I was on voice chat with them. And then like later on after puberty, I'm on a voice call with them again, and they're like, wait, you're usually my online handle is Dpause, and they're like, wait, this is Dpause? And I'm like, yeah, why? What's up? And they're like, your voice has changed so much.
Yeah, well, that really shouldn't come as a surprise, but that's pretty crazy. And then of course I thought it was also really funny that like Chun knew one of the trainees because he used to train at JYP, but JYP did not recognize him.
Yeah. That was so funny. Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah, even Bang Chan was like, or JYP asked him, he's like, oh, how do you two know each other? And they're like, Chan says, we were, we worked together. And JYP's like, where? And he's like, at our company.
Yeah. He tells me train together, and I'm like, the question from JYP of him going, and I imagine there was just something lost in translation that didn't quite get into the subtitles, but it had me going like, JYP, like, man, you know that Bangchan has not been at any other company since he was 13. So right. Like, how would it possibly be any other result than that?
Yeah.
But maybe probably just a translation thing where they just, he was actually saying like how just how did you work together, right. and not that specifically. So, well. And then, so they move on to starting the head of YG, shows up, and he's got, some, broadcaster, some presenter there who says hi and then immediately leaves. I'm sure if we were in Korea, that would have been so silly and fun, but I was just like, who's this short guy with frosted tips? I don't understand.
Yeah. Who was that? Why were they there?
Yeah.
They seemed so awkward too. Like the way that I read the subtitles, it seemed like he was, someone of influence, like a broadcaster, right? They said so, right. And the way that like Stray Kids were reacting was that they were like awestruck to see him. Like it was like strange to see him, but the way that he was acting was like very like humble and like, I'm so happy to be like in the presence of all these trainees and stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? Right. It's so weird. And then he leaves.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was probably just being a little silly and then just booked it. So that's fine. So YG, the head of YG comes in. He's like, introducing everyone. He finds out Stray Kids' name, and then they head to the table to watch the show as he tells his group to if they lose, he'll kill them.
So funny.
So they get there. The first performance is the rap performance, the freestyle battle, starring Changbin and Jisung. And what'd you think? What'd you think of the performance?
Oh my god, it was so good. I love him.
You love him?
Yeah.
Jisung?
Both.
Yeah.
No.
But you were talking about Changbin.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Changbin is just wait, okay, how old is Changbin? He's like in this 19? Oh man.
Or 20? 19 or 20?
He's a sexy man. He is, like, I don't know what it is about, like, his just demeanor and the way, like, his face and the way that he acts, just everything about him. I'm just like, I like this guy a lot. He is so cool.
Yeah.
And he raps so well. He's so good. He's such a good rapper. If he went solo, and I think this is like what JYP said, right, in the 333 challenge, he was like, and I agree with it. Like, Changbin could just be a solo artist, and I would be down with that 100%.
Yeah, and the head of YG basically says the same thing at the end of this. He was like, I think that you two are good enough to be recognized, like, worldwide just for hip hop, not being the rapper in a pop group, but being a rapper.
Right.
So I thought that was really high praise. I was like, wow, like that's pretty crazy. And I had definitely seen something, like, when I was researching K-pop originally for the first episode, that was saying that, like, the way that you speak in Korean, like, lends itself to being able to rap rhythmically. And if it's anything like Japanese, I think it has a few more consonants just from what I've seen. But in Japanese, like, every character is a syllable. So, like, in English words, a lot of times people will have to kind of, like, stretch or shorten words to, like, fit them into a line of rap. But, all you would have to do is adjust your voice to the rhythm, because if each character is a syllable, then all you have to do is say the syllables in the right rhythm, and you're golden. So it, like, lends itself well to the art form of rap, and at least that's what I read about it. It may not be the same as Japanese, and I could just be completely wrong.
But, I mean,
so maybe that'll be
right. Especially because, like, I mean, the example you're using is that, like, in English, right? Sometimes it's more than just, like, stretching it or shortening it. It's actually, like, even mispronouncing it or changing, like, using a different accent on your pronunciation.
Right.
Like, pronouncing it, like, in a British way versus an American way, just to fit the rhyme better.
Oh, yeah.
But
I did it. I earned a... I earned a... This is so ridiculous. So at work, we're doing this,
the ring challenge.
This Close Your Rings challenge. Yep.
Because you said I earned, and the only reason you would say that is if you closed a ring.
Oh. I didn't close a ring. I just got one more hour towards it. And I don't think I'm going to hit it today either, I guess. So I
think I don't know you
we're recording.
Your ring challenge?
You know me. So I'm like, during the episode, like, it was in the previous hour when we were watching, and so, like, I'm trying to silently shake my arm around vigorously, like, and get my hour. And literally, like, while I was talking just a minute ago, I was doing the same thing. I was just shaking my arm around and being like, I hope this doesn't show up.
Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit it, I don't think. I don't think it's going to give it to me. I mean, maybe, nah, it won't give it to me. That's bullshit. I got it more than that. It really isn't reading my stand. Like, because you can't just stand and walk a little bit. Like, they're like, yeah, well, raise your heart rate, bitch. And I'm like, yeah, well, like I have work to do, man. Let me do my work, okay?
Get a desk with like a little half bike underneath it, so you're just like pedaling while you're working.
I don't know if it would count that. Although maybe if I just like vigorously shook my arm around, because that's all I had to do this time, the last 2 times. So anyway, you know who else shook their arms around? The Stray Kids did. Sure did. Mm-hmm. While the rap was going on, they really engaged with the lyrics, and the other team from YG were pretty stoked about it. Thought it was pretty impressive. And then they we got Jisung and Changbin went and sat down, and we got to be treated to a solo lyrical performance via let me get this guy's name right, Bang Yedam. Yeah. And it sounded good, although like when we were watching the like audio,
it was so strange off. Yeah, like I couldn't. It's one of those situations where like if I'm watching a show that has like an English dub over it, but it was like originally German or something.
Yeah,
you're watching it and you're like, something just does not feel right about how this is matching up, you know.
And I thought it was weird at first, because I just thought, well, maybe there's just something weird with the sound, and like if the audio gets off in a part of an episode or something, it usually gets off for the whole episode. But I feel like after the performance, it was fine. So it makes me think, like, is it just like that? Like maybe I'll actually go and rewatch it on like StrayKSubs.com and just see if it's the same. Like maybe it's just the way that it was encoded when I downloaded it. I don't know. But yeah, he did pretty good. I mean, like even just listening to the song, even if it didn't match up with his lips quite perfectly, it sounded really good. And especially for somebody who was in middle school, like I don't know who could possibly do that in middle school. They're extremely talented, so good for them, I guess. It's pretty crazy. So then we get the vocal performance starring Bang Chan, Woojin, and wait, who else was on? It wasn't Sungmin,
wasn't it?
No, Sungmin had a hurt throat. Jisung. Really? Jisung did it? I'm gonna have to literally like play the episode right now and just like be like, okay, all right, on the fly, we're gonna figure this out. Damn it. Who was it? Bang Yedam skills, blah 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 blah. Yes, he's very skilled. He's so skilled.
This is a fun.
No, you're right. It was Jisung. You were right.
Boy!
It was Jisung. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. You called it. So. Yeah, they did great. I think. No, wait, they didn't show it. These bastards.
Oh, right.
That's right. They started the introduction of it, and then it was like episode over. They will do great. How about that?
I was like, when you said like, then it went, I was like, I don't remember it. Why don't I remember it? And that's because we were just about to get into it, and then they're like, next episode, bitch. If you've watched it, then you'll know what we're talking about. If you did the listen along, you'll know as well for sure. But at one point in the before the rap group where they took like a commercial break. We don't see the commercials, but you know when you have a show that transitions to a commercial break, there is some like preview of what's going to happen after, you know, the commercials. And so they had done that earlier in the episode. So when they started to do it this time, I think you and I were both thinking the same thing, where it's like, okay, this is the preview for what's happening after the commercial. But no, that's just the preview for the next episode of the show. And so we were just like sticking around for a while, and it just kept going and going. And we're like, wait. It was kind of a short episode. Or was it the same length as all the others? And it was like 43
minutes. It's just that like Well, it's also just that like so much of it is just like practice and performance that like the important things I feel like to talk about are just kind of like the reactions and then just like the stuff that happens in the prep, but that doesn't take that long. And then it's just performances. We got 3 performances back to back. So, it just doesn't take long to really talk about it. But I do have the other video prepared so you can see just how good this is. So I just sent the link to it, to the watch together.
I gotta enter my name.
Hop in here with me. And I'm gonna put the I'll put the link in the description for the podcast episode, and so you can watch along this with us as we do it. All right, I'm gonna press play on it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, play.
No English sub. Okay, no worries.
No English subs.
Sure, we can figure out. Okay.
Not necessary.
Blonde.
Because it's just a dance.
And there's
all
Bam
you need
Bam.
to know is
so
that it's a dance.
We're looking at Bam Bam.
That's Bam Bam. You can look at all of them. They do well. Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah. They showed a clip of where he's like doing a backflip and gets shoved to the side.
They showed that like only that clip, but I'm like the whole thing is pretty great and the build up to that moment is just like pretty incredible. So I felt like the whole video is totally worth watching through that part because it's crazy. Like, and it's not the only backflip they do during that whole session. So yeah, I mean they and that group GOT7 went on to like be known for their like really energetic and physical dances, and so that's the group from JYP that like they're expecting Stray Kids to live up to at this point because they were the last ones to battle YG. So will they be able to pull it off?
Yeah,
we'll find out next time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So
gonna be great.
We'll see when we can record again because these episodes will come out in the standard order, right? Every Wednesday, but we are recording a little bit earlier than usual because here in about 9 hours I'm gonna have a wisdom tooth taken out, and who knows what I'm gonna sound like after that. So,
yeah. Yep. So we had to record a little early. But we're doing good. I'm happy to, honestly, because I'm like, we just watched, a couple days ago, we just watched the other episode, and I'm like, and then we watched another one, and I'm like, so when do we get to watch another one?
Yep.
They're so good.
Right.
Only 4 left, though. That's the thing that's really throwing me for a loop. I'm like, there's only 4 more episodes left. I hope that you get your copy of Mixtape.
Yeah, speaking of that,
very soon.
Yeah, Anna checked the delivery. I did. So here's the thing: I never told her. So I guess you messaged, because she was like, "Did Phil tell you that I ordered this stuff?" And I was like, No, but we talked about it, and so I figured he might, but I didn't know that he did, and I also didn't tell you. So this is a nice surprise, and it's delivered. So I got to go grab it from the mailbox tomorrow.
That's fun. Oh, well, don't open it and like don't look at it because it may say the member's name.
I'm sure it's in
like
a shipping package. So I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, like you can have the shipping package, but I'm saying like
no. Yeah, I'm just gonna go get it from the mailbox and then give it to Anna for safekeeping. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's more funny to me because like I just like messaged her and I was just like, hey, you need to buy this for Tom for the podcast. Like I just figured that you had probably already told her, and so she's gonna know. And I was just like, yeah, he shouldn't know because it's got spoilers, so you have to buy it for him. And she was just like, okie dokie, and I was like, all right, sweet, and that was the end of it. Like she's just like, yeah, fine, sure, nice. I'll do that.
Good.
Like, okay,
good wife.
That's great. Yep, good wife.
What?
What? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Was that like an attempt at an Australian accent?
I'm so
good wife.
No, it was just
I'm just
weird. Good wife. Just like like because of the whole like close your rings thing, like I already had to do some limited amount of exercise, 30 minutes of, and so like I'm just already tired, and like I had work was long, and so I'm just ready. I'm just ready, and I'm just at a loopy point, and we're just still recording, so I'm just gonna let the loop out. You know what I mean? Also, I got a message today from Anthony that was like, well, I don't know if we'll add anything else. So like, if you just want to use like the ones that I sent you, I hopefully they'll work. And I was like, yeah, I already did. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I already used it. What do you mean? Were you waiting for feedback? I thought that we were. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it yet? Did you listen to the episode?
Night, yeah. Or when yes, I did. Right. I did listen to it.
Okay. So you heard the ending theme
I like it.
Situ?
I like it for sure.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It's not quite on the same like tone as the intro, but there's nothing wrong with it.
No, yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
no. I mean, they don't have to match. They don't have to be exactly the same. So. It was he was listening to a specific Stray Kids song, and I can definitely hear its influence while he was writing it. So yeah, it's pretty good. And maybe, I mean, he did pretty well at this, so maybe I will give him the intro that we currently use, and he'll use his musical ear to determine if he can make it better or worse or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just keep it the same. Who knows? Anyway.
At the end.
Here we are. Once again.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you listened and watched with the listen along episode, thank you for doing that, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave us feedback. You can email us at the email address that Phil knows.
I'll make a staypod at gmail.com. Or follow us on Twitter. I'll make a staypod.
That too, yeah. You can, any feedback
Twitter.
you have, just slide right into those DMs, baby. Or most of our listeners anyway, have some form of direct contact with us. So you can,
I'm not sure that's true. You say that, but like, as of this episode, we have now passed over 100 listens. Across all of our episodes, and they estimate 15 or 16 people in our audience. So I don't know 15 or 16 people that we've like made obligated to listen. I think we have people who are like listening to this podcast who don't know us, which is cool.
Thanks.
I think that's nice. And even the people who listen or are dedicated listeners who do know us, we appreciate you too. Like, you're great. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it and think it's funny or whatever.
I did say my Discord like username or whatever on one of the episodes before. So at any point, anybody could just add me on Discord.
That's true, and that's one of the things I was actually going to point out is in the last episode we didn't plug anything, and I don't even think we've done. I may have been 2 episodes since we've plugged anything. I think. Like, oh well, maybe we should plug something. Like we could plug your Twitch.
Well, I think that we've only plugged once, so
maybe look, I'm not. Maybe we should plug more. Maybe you should wear a plug suit from Evangelion.
Okay. As far as plugging goes, I guess I could plug my Twitch. I mean, okay, so when it comes to Twitch, right? I don't care about it. But I do stream, from time to time, usually Tuesdays and Saturdays. I streamed a little today as well while we were playing Burning Crusade Classic. So yeah, you can check me out at twitch.tv/txtom.
And make him play the 3 songs
that I'm allowed
to
listen to right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Hellevator. Oh, you know what was weird? Tangents. I've been watching like PBG has a series of gameplay videos where he gets together with a bunch of friends and they basically play Minecraft or Terraria or Starbound, and they play hardcore.
Yeah.
So like if you die, you're out of the game. And they set like a goal, and then they play these games. And so I was watching their most recent season of Terraria, and when they were digging down in that game to hell, they were like, "All right, we got to make the Hellevator. The Hellevator's going. We got to go down the Hellevator." And I was like, "Do they know? Do they know?" I was like literally on the edge of my seat waiting for the editor to start playing Hellevator. I was like, "Come on, do it."
He didn't
do it.
No.
He didn't.
They don't know.
Didn't do it. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, they don't know. They should know. Although that may have been like the year that Stray Kids came out, so like maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. It makes me want to play Minecraft and stuff. So
we should play Burning Crusade Classic instead.
It costs money, and I have kids, and it's hard.
Oh.
You know what's hard? Returnal. Returnal's
no,
hard.
But you mentioned it
Have
last episode.
I haven't been able to beat the first boss.
Yeah, so it must be hard because I know that you're not terrible at video games. So
I feel terrible when I'm playing this game, especially because like I got him down to like he has 3 health bars, and I got him down to like his last third of health before, like when I died. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then I lost, and then I immediately like was super impatient and died like 5 times in a row. And I was like, well, my lunch is over, so I guess I'm gonna go back to work.
It makes me think of that time that that we were killing that big chonker in Dark Souls. And you just kept like dodge, like just roll, backstab, roll, backstab. And you're like sneaking up to him, and you hit the button, and you're like, "Yeah, boy!" I believe it is. No, it's on YouTube. It's on my YouTube for my old Twitch name.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, so I'll have to pull that down and re-upload it on the new name.
Awesome. That's
great. It's Tom plays. It's Tom plays Dark Souls for the first time. Man, what a great video.
Wow. Yeah. It is a great video. Yeah, boy. All right. So like on that note, I guess we'll say goodbye. We'll fade out. We'll play the song, and we'll see you again next time.
Thanks.
And thanks for listening.
Tell your friends.
Bye. Tell your enemies.